Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I have my update in my Rolling Project 10 pan, and the reason I'm so excited for today's update is I have 4 products that are empty and rolling out, which I feel like is a huge accomplishment. I feel like it's a long time coming. We've had a lot of unsuccessful or not very exciting updates, so I'm so excited for today's video. I will be rolling in 4 products to replace those, and there's one other product I'm almost done with, and so I'm gonna roll in a product to replace that one when I'm done, because I feel like I'm like a week away from finishing one other product. Very excited about all this. If you're interested in my update, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit chatting about makeup, I'd love for you to consider subscribing before moving on. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment down below, or do anything else the YouTube algorithm loves for you to do. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Let's jump into it. I'm gonna kick us off, as I always do, with my Rowan Mood Forever quad. I am focused on this quad all year round, and I'm really excited because I did reach for this an additional 10 times. Not my best update yet, but still good. At least I'm very proud of 10 uses for this quad, and I'm at 53 total uses on this quad so far this year, which last year when I was focused on 75 degrees, I only reached for 75 degrees 55 times in the entirety of the year. So already I feel like this is as much of a success and will be greatly more successful than last year. So no new pan. Actually, I take that back. I think that there is the most minute speck of a pan in this shade up here, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I feel like not a lot of, well, I take that back actually. I feel like this pan will be deeper as well as this pan, and again, I think there's like the most minute speck of a pan here, but not a lot of change in these 2 pans right here. So I'll quickly go shade for shade and kind of share where we're at with each of the shades. I have this shade up here in the corner, which I had reached for 26 times going into this update. I did reach for this one an additional 8 times, so I'm at 34 total uses on this shade. I will say this shade I haven't always loved in the past, but one of you guys gave me the idea to franken these 2 together, and I wasn't exactly sure how I would. I'm not a frankening wizard. I wasn't exactly sure how I would do that, but it did give me the idea to layer these 2 shades this month. And so many days I would layer this down first, and then I would layer this on top, and I loved the way that that looked. So thank you for that suggestion and idea. This shade right here, I feel like I could hopefully, fingers crossed, empty this out by maybe September if I really put effort into it, but I did only reach for this one time this past month. So I am at 21 total uses in this shade right here. This shade down here, which is a favorite, I think my favorite shade in the entire palette, because it is this really beautiful kind of silvery, almost like a silvery satin sort of shade, satin taupe, silvery taupe, but it has blue glitter running throughout it, so I love it. Anyway, I had reached for that 22 total times going into this update, only reached for this once, and so I'm at 23 uses there. And then this was my least used shade and still is my least used shade. However, I'd only reached for this 9 times going into this update, and I reached for this 8 times this month, so I almost doubled my use on that one, and I am at 17 total uses on this one down here. I am hopeful by next month we can have a pan in the remaining 2 shades, so that every single pan of eyeshadow in this quad will have a pan. I am pretty confident that I can do that. And I'm just really pleased overall with how much use I've been able to get out of this quad. This is something that comes with me in my overnight bag, and is really what I'm reaching for eyeshadow for work at least 3 days a week. So I feel like really good progress there, which I'm happy about. I forgot to say, I know that this is a Rolling Project 10 pan, but I am focused on 12 products. One of them, the reason for that is this I knew isn't something that I was gonna empty out in a year, and then I also just wanted to track my progress on a blush throughout the year, but I didn't think I would empty out a blush. So my update on my Kosas blush is Lifed in the shade Bliss. I don't even think I reached for this once. It's possible I reached for this one time, but I've just been reaching for other things. I've been reaching into my face palettes. I've been having fun mixing and matching other blushes. I definitely reached for one of my other Kosas blushes because that was something that I had purchased this month last year, so I was working on testing that out again. But I don't believe I reached for this even one time, so not exciting progress there. Another product that just like, I'm using this literally every single day, like at least I would say 5 to 6 days a week, because I do my makeup almost every day and I reach for this just about every time I do my makeup. It's the Ilia eyeliner in the shade Dusk. Last time I updated you, I said that I don't know what happened. I don't know if the makeup gremlins just overnight filled this up, but when I went to make my line marking, it had grown, it felt. I don't know what happened, but I've barely made any movement on this. This is an eyeliner I've been trying to finish for years at this point in time. Like literally years. I wish I had tracked my uses on this, because I feel like by the time this is empty, it will be like somewhere between like 500 to 700 uses. Like I have used this so many times, and yet here we are. Another product that I don't feel like is going to have great use is my Merit blush stick. This is in the shade Beverly Hills. I just have not been reaching for this on days that I'm reaching for a cream blush, because this hasn't been in my overnight bag. I was focused on cycling through my Lawless cream blushes this month, but I am going to toss this back in my makeup bag. We're getting so close to finishing this up. I don't think I'm gonna try and like scrape every last bit out of this once we get flush with the packaging. It looks kind of hard to scrape out. One of you sent me a picture of someone who had fully panned this, and I'm like, it looks scary once you're flush with the packaging. But I will be so excited to finish this, and I want to finish this year so that I can have a blush empty. I don't know that I've ever had a cream blush empty, so that would be really exciting, but I don't think I reached for this much at all this year or this month, so I don't think we have good progress there. My Giorgio Armani concealer, I either rolled in last month or the month prior, and I don't really think, when I rolled this in, I didn't think I had like it was not new to my collection, but I hadn't used it like the most. I rolled this in because it's not something, why did I roll this in? It's like the newest concealer to my collection. I don't know, I just felt like this would be a good everyday concealer, easy to pop in the overnight bag, which is how I have been getting most use out of it. I don't know if you can see the windowing at all. There is some windowing right here, but I feel like it's just because I'm like circling my brush here, and I feel like there would be product above. I still am not even certain I could finish this in a year. I'm just trying to get use out of this, and I would say I've been reaching for this at least 3 times a week. It is one of the concealers that's a little bit darker. Not that it's dark, but I feel like so many of my concealers are like too light for me, and this is like actually a good shade match for me, which is really nice. So I haven't found it to be a product that I've struggled to reach for. Only thing with this one is it doesn't provide the most coverage, so again, it's perfect for every day, but when I'm filming or if I have events that I'm going out to, it feels weird to say an event, like if I'm going out to do something with friends, not like I have an event to go to. Anyway, if I'm going out, maybe that's just what I should say, I would be reaching for something a little bit more full coverage, but this has been a great product to reach for day to day. My Kosas powder, again, I either rolled this in last update or the update prior. This is my favorite powder. I reach this pressed powder just about every day, although I will say actually most days going to work, like when I have my overnight bag, I don't reach for a powder. I'm just like not setting my face. So I think I reach for this 3-ish times, 3 to 4 times per week, because I film on the weekends plus Mondays and then like sometimes Fridays. So anyway, this is where we're at. I want to finish this year, but I want this to get me through to like right around this Sephora VIB sale time, because I would like to purchase this at 20% off if I could, but I didn't want to purchase a backup because I didn't want to have a backup. What I'm trying to say, without saying it in a proper way at all, is that this is my favorite pressed powder, my go-to pressed powder, the pressed powder that will continue to be the pressed powder that I use. I love to set my face with this. It locks my makeup in without being heavy, with still allowing my skin to breathe and still look like skin. I just think it's such a beautiful pressed powder for a dry skin girl. I love this. I am kind of curious to see the progress pictures on this one though, and to see like if we have made progress. The progress that we've made for sure is that my component or the packaging on this has broken since the last time I updated you, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I do feel like I really, like the dome has really worn away though. Anyway, that's my update on this. Next, I have my Oma by Sharon C foundation, and I was almost done with this. As you can see, we were tracking it, we were almost done. Then I decided to mix in my Tula SPF, like tinted SPF, with this because this is too dark for me, my Tula is too light. And so last update, by my best estimate, we were about here, and now we are about here. I haven't reached for this the most, but I definitely have reached for this some. I still think it's a really, really beautiful product. It provides a lot of full coverage, even though I do feel like the SPF helped to dilute it just a little bit. So I am finding this honestly even a little bit easier to wear day to day. I feel like if I were to hyper focus on this, I could finish this in maybe like 3 months. But I have bought some new foundations, so I've been testing those. I do want to focus on this in the summer though, because it is still dark for me, or it's still pretty dark, even though I did mix in the lighter Tula drops. So I feel like if I don't work on this summer, I'm not going to be able to finish this by the end of the year, and I really do want to finish it. And then the last update I believe that I have before we get into the 4 empties is my Too Faced Kissing Lip Jelly, which again, I can't remember if I rolled this in last update or the update prior. I feel like I'm about ready to take the stopper out of this. This is what it is looking like. I don't know if you'll be able to tell well at all, but lots of windowing, lots of windowing. I absolutely love this. I've been really into pink lips, and I like a sparkle on the lips as well. And this is just a really beautiful pink sparkly hybrid between a lip oil and a lip gloss. I would definitely purchase this shade again. I will say their sheer shades that don't have the glitter in it are just kind of boring, but I do like the glitter in this one, and it has no gritty texture at all, so I do really like it for that reason. This is a product that I think I will finish in the next week or so, so I am going to actually roll in this pink sparkly gloss to replace it. This is my Glamlite Scooby-Doo Daphne gloss, and I feel like this is starting to kind of separate a little bit. So it pains me because I love this gloss. It is like my favorite pink sparkly gloss in my entire collection, and you can't get this anymore. It's gonna make me so sad to finish this up, but summer is the perfect time to be using this and reaching for this. And so I'm just gonna give myself that permission to reach for it and use it. Having this sit down and settled, it looks like almost we're right about here, which I'm kind of surprised by. I feel like I have used way more of this gloss than that, but that honestly makes me happy. There's a lot of gloss still to go around, a lot of gloss still to use, and if there's truly that much gloss, I don't even know that we would finish this by the end of summer, but I'm gonna chug away on this and hope to have this as another lip product empty before the end of the year. Moving into the 4 products that are empties, I have my Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. I'm so excited to be done with this just because I felt like I was kind of forcing myself to reach for this, but this doesn't do what I want a primer to do, and that is grip my makeup. So I didn't feel like this added any sort of longevity to my like day-to-day makeup. So I'm excited that this is done. It's a beautiful product for a nice soft glow blur to the skin, but that is just not what I'm looking for in a primer. And so I won't be repurchasing. Excited to have another primer empty to add to my year-end empties though. At the end, I will get into the 4 products that I'm replacing my empties with, but my Vive Velvet Sands lip liner is an empty, you guys. I can't believe it. It feels like it's been such a long journey. This is absolutely a product that will be in my life again. In fact, I went onto the Vive website. I actually ordered some different things, but I went onto the website to potentially order this again, and then I was like, no girl, let's try and cycle through, rotate through our lip liner collection, and then I will eventually purchase this probably before the end of the year. Such a beautiful nude lip liner, such an incredible long-lasting formula, one of my favorite lip liner formulas that I have tried. But it took me so long to finish this up, and I'm so excited that this is an empty. I have 2 lip liner empties this year so far then. I'm also so excited to report that my Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask is also now an empty. I will say I feel like the packaging on this is quite deceiving. It took me over 6 months of use to finish this up because I was getting use out of this towards the end of last year. I would say like 9 months of pretty consistent use. Such a beautiful lip prep step, does a nice job of plumping and hydrating the lips, still feels nourishing like a lip mask. Sometimes I still like cannot believe it, but By far my favorite lip prep step that I have tried. I do have another one of these that I have already opened and started using. It'll take me at least, I would say, 8 to 9 months to finish that up. But once I do finish that one up, it is a product that I would buy again. And then the final empty and rollout that I have, I'm so excited about. It has been such a long journey with my Nabla skin bronzing in the shade Ambra. This has been in several projects in the past, and I just have not been able to empty this out. It is such a beautiful baked bronzer formula, but it takes so long to get through. Gives a really beautiful sheen to the face without being, it's not matte, but it's also not uber glowy. It is definitely a formula that I'd recommend, but I'm just so bored with it and over it and just excited to use my other bronzers that I'm not going to immediately go out and repurchase. Now, if this were to be on sale, say in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I would buy this again. Like, I do think it's a beautiful bronzer. I just feel like I've used it so much in its lifetime that I'm just kind of over it for right now. So that brings us to the 4 products I will be rolling in to replace these. Up first, I'm a little bit nervous about this one, and I was actually going to choose something else, but then I thought it would be the perfect time to roll in this product. I actually have this underneath my makeup today, and I really like it. So I'm going to be rolling in my Glossier Future Dew to replace my iconic London Underglow primer. I have about, I would say, 3/4 of this primer left. There, I have it marked right there. This is a beautiful product, but it is extremely glowy, and it definitely is like an oil serum hybrid. I would absolutely agree with that. It's not something that I personally really like on its own necessarily. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I wouldn't necessarily just, I don't know, sometimes if it doesn't have like foundation on top and then like set with the powder, sometimes it can just feel too slippy and slidey, and I don't love it for that reason. But it is a beautiful glowy product. I do like, I've been liking my Givenchy Prism Libre foundation a lot better over top of this than other things. And so I feel like that combination could be really fun this summer. I also feel like this could pair really beautifully with this foundation, which I want to get use out of. And I just feel like if I don't roll this in and focus on it this summer, then it's going to go a whole nother year without getting used. So I don't necessarily know that I'm going to be able to empty this out. There's a lot of products, and we'll see how I'm feeling as we get into the like winter months. I do like glowy skin all year round though. So we're rolling this in. We'll see how far we can get. I'm not uber confident this will be an empty, but it would be a plus if it was. And maybe with consistent use, I'll use this faster than I think. We'll see. Okay, for my lip liner roll-in, I'm gonna be rolling in one of the oldest lip liners to my collection. It's from Shay Blu, and it is in the shade 935 Dark Natural. I actually feel like this is kind of similar, pretty similar to the Vive Velvet Sands, which is perfect because I do like Vive Velvet Sands. I almost find that this one is maybe just a little bit more cool toned and more pinky brown. This is like my perfect lip shade. The only thing I will say is I don't feel like this is going to pair with like bright summer lips. So I think I might struggle a little bit. And I thought about rolling something else in, but I also wanted to roll this in because it is seriously the oldest lip liner in my collection, I think. So this is what we're gonna focus on. We've got a long way to go with this. We got a long way to go. To replace my Lawless mask, I'm not gonna roll in the same product, but in the different shade. I'm gonna roll in a different hydrating lip product, and I'm gonna roll in my Henriksen Pout Preserve in the shade Blood Orange. You guys know, if you're a longtime subscriber, I am obsessed with Henriksen Pout Preserve, and I want to focus on Blood Orange because it's the summer and I feel like it's the perfect time to be reaching for this. I'll put a little bit over top. I feel like I have like 15 lip products on. We'll see how this layers. It is a really beautiful, it does give kind of like this coral reddy orange tint to the lips, but it's something that I can wear whether I have makeup on or not. I will likely just toss this in my car and have this be like my car gloss. I was so excited about this because I love the Pout Preserve and I love like a coral orangey lip for the summer. But with the Pout Preserves, they do have this really kind of overwhelming chemical scent and taste when you first put them on. And in this one, it's very heavily blood orange. And it never really dissipates, and it's just not my favorite scent slash taste. So I'd like to use this up. I feel like this is something that is very summer appropriate. I think it'll take me a bit. I've emptied out 2 other Pout preserves this year. It'd be really exciting to have a third to add to that. I feel like there's still an air bubble in here, so I don't feel like I can give a super accurate estimate on like a line marking without like exploding product everywhere. But I've used this a really good amount. This came with me to Florida this year. I have been focused on this throughout the month of June as well. And so I think with a couple months, possibly, maybe, again, depending on how big that air bubble is, maybe I could have this done by the end of August, beginning of September. We'll see. And then finally, to replace my bronzer, I am going to be rolling in a cream bronzer. I'm gonna roll in my Rare Beauty bronzing stick in the shade Happy Soul. And I'm so close to being done with this. I wanna roll this in so that I don't let this just kind of linger around and like not get used up this year. I want a cream bronzer empty. I feel like I'm just a month or 2 away. If I consistently use this, if I have this in my overnight makeup bag, I feel like I could possibly finish this by the next update, or for sure by the end of summer. Again, if I don't finish this by the end of summer, I feel like this is just going to linger into next year, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to have this as an empty. It's on my pan to plan list. I want to finish this up. So I will be rolling in the Rare Beauty bronzing stick to replace my Nabla bronzer. And after that, you guys, that is going to wrap up and conclude this update in my Rolling Project 10/12 pan. I would love to know in the comments below, what is the most recent product you have either hit a pan on or emptied out? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.